And we are following breaking news out of the NBA where 76ers star Joel Embiid has tested positive for COVID-19 Monday morning. That according to ESPN. That means he has entered the NBA's health and safety protocol. Joel Embiid was expected to miss tonight's game on rest against the Knicks, but now he could miss at least 10 days with his positive test there. That is unless he can return to negative COVID tests more than 24 hours apart. Philadelphia has 6 games over the next 10 days and may very well now be without Joel Embiid for all of them. Let's welcome in Bill Reiter to talk about this. Not good news for the 76ers, and it's not an easy road ahead for them now, especially without Joel Embiid.
Yeah, Amanda, when it rains in Philadelphia, it pours. Obviously, they're dealing with the Ben Simmons situation and trying to find the right deal to move him on as they wait to try and have him play. In the meantime, that obviously hasn't happened. And yet Philly's played really good basketball, maybe the best basketball in the association early in this season. And right when it feels like they're going to weather the Simmons storm, this comes down. You said it. They've got a pretty sizable number of games coming up in this window. And unless he can return those 2 negative tests, it is a huge hit for a Sixers organization that, in just talking to sources in and around that organization, are feeling a lot of pressure, even with the way that season has begun for them.
Well, they're at the top of the East right now. He's averaging team leading 21.4 points, 9.4 boards, 4 assists per game. How do they try to soften this blow not having him now?
Yeah, good luck. It's sort of like how do the Lakers deal without LeBron James? When you lose a guy, and you said it, who's averaging 21.5 and 10 and 4 assists and is a defensive wonder, when you lose that guy, there is no replacement. What you try to do is get out there and hope that you can play really good defense. Tobias Harris is going to have to step up, but they're just simply not going to be the same level of team without Joel Embiid. There is no fix. There is no guy you turn to. I mean, you look at the Lakers, I think, as a counterpoint. They at least have an Anthony Davis, a guy that should be a top 5 or 10 player in the game, a guy that can carry you, and they haven't been able to make it work. And I guess you could put Westbrook in that group. This is a Sixers team that's really good. They're really deep. They've improved their three-point shooting. With all respect to Tobias Harris, who gets paid extremely well, with Ben Simmons not playing, when Embiid goes down, there is no other star. He really is the only guy on that team that's at that level. And without him, they're just going to be a different basketball team.
Taking a look, as we mentioned, they have 6 games back-to-back coming up very quickly there, and he could potentially miss all of them. When you look at their schedule there, the Knicks tonight, again, he was not expected to be in that game. You got the Bucks, Raptors, Pacers, Jazz there, Nuggets. When you looked at this with him, how did you see it going? And now without him, how do you see it going potentially?
I mean, look at that schedule with Joel Embiid and the way that they've played, which I think has been surprising and impressive. They are the favorite in every one of those games except at Utah, and it's always difficult to go play in Denver, but you figure they probably win 4 of those 6 games. If I were a betting man, which I happen to be, that's probably where my head would be at. But without Joel Embiid, if he's not around, the Knicks are a really tough game. I know the Bucks haven't played particularly well. They're still the defending champions. At Denver, at Utah, at the end of that stretch on the road are really tough games. It's certainly conceivable that you could close your eyes and have a vision as a Sixers fan, a nightmare of just winning 1 or 2 of those games.
All right, again, out for potentially 10 days unless those 2 tests come back negative, about 24 hours apart there. But looking beyond that, because you've said some very positive things about the 76ers playing some of the best basketball from them. You've seen it in a while. I told you they're at the top of the East right now. Give us your feelings surrounding this team moving forward when they do get Joel Embiid back.
Yeah, I mean, I think what's been really interesting in talking to some folks around the NBA, some Eastern Conference sources, the read around that part of the association is that, look, I don't want to pretend that it's good that Simmons isn't playing. He's the best defensive player probably in the NBA. Whatever his shortcomings, and they're massive, he is very talented, and he will bring back some kind of a sizable return if and when they trade him. So I'm not saying life is easier without Ben Simmons, but the view around the NBA, Amanda, is that their ability to come together, a team dinner that they had shortly after the season began when Simmons wasn't around, has actually had a really positive impact. They put their heads down together, and Simmons, ironically, being so difficult from the view of the Sixers organization, has brought that team together. And Joel Embiid is exactly what you need if you want to be a contender. He is an MVP candidate. You can make the argument he's the best player in the NBA. He may not be, but he's certainly in that conversation. Daryl Morey has brought in some shooters over his short tenure as the president of operations. Doc Rivers is a very well-respected coach. Tobias Harris has looked really good. I mean, you sort of go through the guys they've added. It's a really good team with Embiid. And with this group, without Simmons, when they trade him, and they will, and they bring back some help this year as part of that package, and I'm sure that will happen, they're going to be one of the 2 or 3 best teams in the Eastern Conference and a championship contender.
All right, Bill Reiter, thank you so much for hopping on very quickly there with us. Joel Embiid, again, potentially out for up to 10 days, testing positive for COVID, according to ESPN. Bill, thank you.